I felt like Days Gone was a pleasant surprise for me in a lot of ways. If you can picture a Grand Theft Auto style mission system with a lot bigger focus on survival and maintenance, and then you add in a scoop of Sons of Anarchy, you end up with something like this. The title of the game refers to how many days have taken place since things went to crap. There's a zombie monster style element at play here, as well as competing groups of humans. You find yourself as a bit of a lone wolf. Or, well, you would be a duo, but the other guy in your very small motorcycle club is laid out most of the time. Essentially, you're on your own. Just you, the not-so-open road, and your motorcycle. Of course, you start the game in need of some upgrades for your bike. The one you're forced to start with is very basic. It's a cool concept to have to be more mindful of maintenance and gas. Unlike in Grand Theft Auto, where cars are disposable, your bike in Days Gone is a save point, it's an ammo station, and it's other things. Eventually, you can upgrade the speed, the exhaust noise, the lights, the looks, and a variety of other things to really make it your own. The gameplay itself is often more stealthy in nature due to how easily you can get overwhelmed. While I'd love to say enemy spawns are fair, there were a few points in time where I felt like I was fighting against development snags. They added in concepts like roving hordes to keep things spicy, but it seemed too often in my own experience between missions that these hordes could spawn from certain points without any kind of warning, which sometimes would result in time being lost. When everything goes right though, or you're in a more controlled condition like a story mission, that's usually a different story. I loved and favored silent weapons, the crossbow especially. Advancing in skills eventually allowed me to deal a lot more damage, retrieve most of my bolts, eventually turning into a cedar sapling fueled powerhouse. The controls, for the most part, are great. I found the bike controls especially smooth, compared especially to other GTA clones out there. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Watch Dogs. I didn't have a ton of complaints about the aiming system or anything like that, but there were more than a few instances where proximity to an action item didn't really trigger correctly, so this might mean I was unable to quickly mount my bike as I'm trying to escape, or be unable to reach something that the game says you can, or you might be unable to interact with something without that perfect camera angle. Luckily, quick saving is possible, and very easy from your bike most of the time. I spent a lot of time simply exploring off-road or experimenting with dangerous ideas under the safety net of the save system. Many points of interest in the game can be overcome as an optional thing. Some can give you some pretty awesome bonuses, or clearing out part of the map to make things less dangerous, while also improving your reputation. And when we talk about reputation, we also have to consider that the main character here, again kind of similar to Grand Theft Auto, well, we're not dealing with a great guy, but I suppose he's a good guy. Maybe a bit of an anti-hero. In that regard, you can make some decisions along the way that are rather questionable, but the trajectory of the story missions does send you on a more heroic path. These groups of survivors, the towns that you come across, they're essentially run as work camps under slave labor. And as you go about exploring the world, you may end up saving a life and getting to decide where that person ends up. Reputation is earned with each of the camps you come across, which can unlock new weapons, upgrades, and options along the way. I've been sticking mostly to Grand Theft Auto rather than Red Dead Redemption comparisons here, despite a lot of obvious parallels, mostly because the setting, the technology level, the character actors really give it a more modern feel for me, though in truth it's probably more of a happy medium between the two games. The wilds here seem to be packed with points of interest and events, instead of the map being mostly empty, so it's not exactly a city, but it's also not an endless prairie. There's also a very simple quick travel system that keeps you from feeling forced to drive from point to point. A sense of autonomy and options like that are really what make open world games feel more and more open, which is something I wanted to convey here as well. This game really does have a decent open world feel to it, even if some of the story missions put the character development on rails. The look and feel of the world, the graphics and effects here, everything is on point. Immersion is great, but it can certainly take a hit when you encounter glitches, or get into a quick save scenario where you're basically just experimenting with new ideas. The day and night cycle also creates an ebb and flow to the relative danger of the open road, which you have to consider when creating your own goals and challenges in the wild. At night, the zombie critters are more numerous, more dangerous, but that might be just what you need if you're trying to collect bounties or grind up reputation. All in all, I'd say I had a lot of fun with this one. Certainly more than I originally expected to. It has a good balance of survival, open world to it, while again it lets you control how much trouble you want to get into, and how quickly. As always, I appreciate your time here with me today. Thanks for watching.